Here's a word to the wise. If you're going to lie, at least make your lies the slightest bit believable. Seriously, a 4-year-old can lie better than this when they have their hand caught in the cookie jar, they have crumbs over their face, and they say, "It wasn't me who did it, it was a ghost." Like, what are we doing here, Chase Young? What are we doing? Welcome, everybody, to JG9 News, where we talk all things NFL all the time. I'm Joe Garrinai, representing the 904 from the 602, and today we are talking about defensive end Chase Young, the second overall pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. He's had a very up-and-down career thus far. I think that's putting it lightly. As a rookie in 2020, he was lights out, helped guide Washington to the playoffs. Granted, they had a losing record, was a garbage division, but he played really well. He was the defensive rookie of the year. 7.5 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss. He was great, made the Pro Bowl, and rightfully so. Then injuries slowed him down in 2021 and 2022. Wasn't as effective, missed a lot of time. 2023, it looked like he was going to rebound in that contract year of his. Didn't pick up the 5th-year option, but he started off very well. 5 sacks in the first 7 games. Pro Bowl pace for the Commanders. Then he got traded to the San Francisco 49ers for a 3rd-round pick in the middle of the season. There were a lot of questions in San Fran about his effort. He only had 2.5 sacks, despite that defensive line being stacked. There were reports that they might bench him going into the Super Bowl, as he looked very lackadaisical during the NFC Championship game against the Detroit Lions. Could have came back to San Francisco potentially, but instead is going to sign a 1-year, $13 million contract to stay in the NFC, but to go to the NFC South and join the New Orleans Saints. I think this is a pretty good move for the Saints. 1-year deal, not a lot of risk there. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Again, it's just a 1-year deal. It's not going to cap tie you like the Derek Carr move would. At the same time, you let him walk after this season because you probably won't be able to re-sign him, barring anything crazy. But you let him walk, you get a compensatory pick on round 3 or round 4 for the 2026 NFL Draft. I like this move a lot for New Orleans. There's a lot of upside here, especially if he plays like he did at times in Washington. We know he can reach his potential. Having said that, he gave about the most backwards explanation for why he decided to join the New Orleans Saints, why he left San Francisco to join New Orleans, and it'd be the equivalent of me saying that I signed with the Green Bay Packers after spending my career in Miami so that I could play in a warm weather city. It makes no sense whatsoever. Because this is what Chase Young had to say. He said on the Saints, it's one of those places, it's a winning culture. That's what I wanted to be around. So Chase Young deciding to join the New Orleans Saints because they have a winning culture. He left the San Francisco 49ers. He's implying that the Saints have a winning culture, but the team he was just on, the San Francisco 49ers, do not have a winning culture. How does that make any sense? The 49ers have made the NFC Championship each of the last 3 seasons. They have made the NFC Championship 4 times in the last 5 years. Their head coach is Kyle Shanahan. They made the Super Bowl twice under him. In the last 13 seasons with owner Jed York, they have made the NFC Championship 7 times. More than 50% of the time, they're playing in the NFC Championship. He left the Niners to join a winning culture in the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have missed the playoffs in the last 3 seasons. The Saints are led by head coach Dennis Allen, who has a lifetime record of 24-46 and has been a coach for 5 seasons and has never made the playoffs. The Saints have made 1 NFC championship in the last 14 seasons and 0 Super Bowls. Historically, the Saints have made as many NFC championships as the Niners have in the last 3 years. From a historical standpoint, this makes no sense if you're talking winning culture. The 49ers have made 8 Super Bowls. That's tied for the second most in NFL history, only behind the New England Patriots. They're tied in that department with the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Saints have made just 1. You want to know why this helmet case behind me right here, I only have 1 Super Bowl helmet to indicate the Saints? That's because they've only made 1. They're one of just 9 teams in the NFL to not make it more than 1 time. The 49ers have the 8th highest winning percentage of all time. They're 85 games above 500 lifetime. It would require the Niners to have 5 straight seasons of 0-17 before they were below 500 historically. The Saints, meanwhile, their winning percentage is bottom 10 all time. They're 56 games below 500. They could go 17-0 for the next 3 seasons, and it still wouldn't be enough. You left the 49ers to join the Saints, and you're citing the reason for it, the number one reason, as a winning culture. You can't tell me a winning culture means anything to you when you visited the freaking Carolina Panthers. It was between 2 teams, if you work it back to the 49ers. It was between the Saints and the Panthers. I mean, I guess by comparison, the Saints have a winning culture. But don't tell me you care about winning culture, and that's why you left when you visited the Panthers. The Panthers are the last team with a winning culture. David Tepper is an awful owner. He's the worst owner in the NFL. He has done nothing right. 6 seasons in Carolina, never above 500 in any of them, 31-68 lifetime record, worst record in football last season, complete dysfunction from top to bottom. You visited them. Don't tell me you care about winning culture. Again, it is entirely your prerogative to join the Saints. You can join New Orleans. I don't care. The Saints, they are a good fit for you. The Saints, you could make a lot of money that way. You could really prove yourself. The Saints, if you want to join the Saints, go for it. You're not in contract. You are a free agent. You can sign wherever you want. Go for it. But don't give me that crap about joining a winning culture when the team you left had a way better winning culture. You could easily say, I joined the Saints because I like the fit. I joined the Saints because I like the coaching staff. I joined the Saints because I like this defense. I joined the Saints because I like this city. I joined the Saints because they gave me a great offer. I joined the Saints because I think I have the best chance to reach my potential here. I joined the Saints because it's a new start, it's a fresh start, I wanted to start clean. All those things are fine. If you said any of those, I'm not complaining. I'm not making this video. Good for you. Just don't say you joined the Saints because of your winning culture, and that's why you left the Niners. That's like me unironically saying, that I got McDonald's instead of going to a steakhouse for dinner because I wanted fine dining. I could say that I went to McDonald's because the cost. It's way cheaper to go to McDonald's than it is to go to a steakhouse. The time commitment. McDonald's, I can just pick up at the drive-thru. Steakhouse, it's a 2-hour ordeal for dinner. I was just in the mood for a hamburger. Convenience. Maybe McDonald's is pretty close to home, and the steakhouse is pretty far away. I have to make reservations. There's a waiting list. Maybe I don't want to do that. I don't want to dress up. McDonald's, I can just go in what I'm wearing right now. Steakhouse, you have to dress up. You get the idea. If I said any of those for why I chose to make it easier over a steakhouse, fine. No one's arguing. But if I say that I want it because I wanted fine dining, come on. No one's buying that for a second. Your logic here, dumbest reasoning possible. You left a team that has made the Super Bowl twice in the last 5 years, has made it to the NFC Championship, each of the last 3 seasons, made the Super Bowl last season, to join the Saints, and you cited the winning culture. Like, what are we doing here? What are we honestly doing here? At least try to make your lie believable. Just cite literally any other reason. Give me anything else. Anything else. I mean, look, you want to play for New Orleans? Good for you. Just don't say that. No one's going to buy it for a second. No one's buying that for a second. But what are your thoughts on Chase Young's comments? Do you think that the Saints have a better winning culture than the 49ers? Do you think this would make sense for Chase Young? Do you think it makes sense for the Saints? What are your thoughts on his stint with Washington and with San Francisco? How do you grade his career thus far? Because it's very interesting. Defensive Rookie of the Year, but maybe has not lived up to his full potential, despite being in the league for 4 years. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. That's going to do it for this episode of JG9 News. Be sure you like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to check out my main channel, JaroGator9, where we talk all things NFL history all the time. Until next time, this is JaroGator9 signing off. And as always, go Jags.